Uh, First, I was given an hour, I'm sorry, and then it reduced to 5 minutes. And then I saw that the food is coming and the smell is getting in. And I always learned that you cannot say something like it will not be assimilated with an empty stomach. But anyway, so there are a few things I would like to share with you. Being in front of you in here, being successful with my profession and the political side of it doesn't make me a better person than anyone else, right? And doesn't make me more, how do you call it, more important than anyone else. This is just to show that we Filipinos can do what we want to be, right? I had difficulties in coming to Canada, right? I had difficulties in, how do you call it, the accreditation of our profession. And then the credentialing, I said, credentialing. And then of course being a covered person in a workforce, right? And we look young, but they don't know our real age. They think that we are of the shape of the lower rate, but we are one of the highest rate in that rank. And at the same time, to the accent that we say, all right? But what I can say is, from my journey with the profession is, we are carved like a wood from a river. Right? So what do I mean by that? Kinamat is, I love the river, right? I do fish, I do camp. And I see lots of wood, you cannot even touch the wood, right? You cannot even bring that home. So I see myself like a wood in there, being always hammered by the stone, by the water, all season round. It's painful when you compare it to us. Like you guys, you're from Manila, I've heard. It's painful to be away from family. It's painful, it's not easy to be away. Even how many kilometers away, right, from Edwin to water. To be flying in, fly out, it's difficult, right? Even a single moment away from my wife, it's very difficult. I tell my wife, please don't take night shift. We work together, we eat together, we sleep together, we go for a holiday together. I need another holiday. No, I'm just kidding. No. So this is to show Filipinos we're a little bit salient. We just do our things. Bahala ng Diyos. Right? Bahala na, magkarama na naman ng sa atin. So magpasakit sa atin. It's okay. But in here, in Canada, we have to say that. Because it will never happen. We'll never succeed into what we want to be. So going back to the wood, yeah, that's my experience. So from my profession coming from the Philippines to Ireland, that's where I met my wife, right? 3 years in Ireland. Then St. Paul's got us supposedly Kinimat, but they gave us up because they were in need of nurses who are specialized. So our specialty is in the operating room. So we work at the operating room. I manage the operating room, right? I'm the boss at the work. The boss of the house is the wife, right? But at the same time, I manage the surgical services. But it was not a good journey. It was not a good journey. I was like a wood being chopped. And then you realize at the end that you are like a statue being carved smooth. And now they're enjoying the statue. So that's my journey with the profession. Right? You're a labor rate. So my resume has 6 letters of expectations, 7 letters of warning, I've got 1 suspension. I didn't remove that from my, how do you call it, my file. The union, you can remove that in 80 months. Reason why I didn't is to show that a person can change. A person can be bullied. A person can be discriminated against. But if you speak from the heart, if you speak what you advocate for, you will see the end. Now, not to brag, my employer, my boss, who was supposed to be my boxing opponent, we are now like friends, right? And Filipinos usually have a hard feeling, right? We always, I forgive, I don't forget. I remember the scar, right? But then we don't have to do that. We have to show that we are capable of really of doing things. Like you guys, you were brought in here. It's because you are needed. You are needed. You have that skill. And the company values you. And I am proud of that. And I did really say no. Immediately I said, yes, I would like to come and meet you guys. Because in the early stage of my career, that was in 2010. So I started my career in 2010 with politics. So I was advocating for internationally educated nurses. So I am considered one of the educated nurses. So I was advocating for them, advocating for my patients. And sometimes you deal with the union, right? So I was a strong union advocate for nurses in town. In town, I was not afraid of anyone who stood my way for as long as it is for my colleagues, it is for my patients. And that's where I started my advocacy. So that's where people came to know. So I started a political career. I was only 7 years in Kenya. I just got hold of my Canadian passport 3 months. Then I ran. I lost though. The one who campaigned for me were the doctors, door to door. Door to door. With 2 doctors, they pushed me. I didn't want to be a politician. Right? I didn't. But because of my advocacy, they want me to. Okay, let's try this. And that's where, 2010. So 2010, there were 6 of us for a by-election. So a by-election in Canada is when one of the councillors dies, and there's 1 year term to finish, there's a by-election. So I ran, right? There were union members in there. Non-union members. The union in town didn't even support me. So I ran independent. There were 6 of us. I landed second. The following year, I ran again. There were 12 of us. I landed second. And I didn't need a union, so I stay away with the union, having the principles that I don't want to be tied with the principles of the union. Right, that's my political career, and then with this, connecting that with LNG and to Kilman. So I saw that patients coming to the hospital were more on depression. Didn't have jobs, right? People didn't have jobs. When we came, this is an industrial town. Two industries closed. One is Methanex. The next one is the Fraser, the Urucan. So people were leaving town. 535 from Paris lost their job, right? So we advocated for an industry to come to Kinaman. Right from the very start of this project, I knew it already because we supported that. There were 2 projects that were running, competing each other in the Northwest when they started. Was Petronas in Prince Rupert, and this one, very quiet. But together with the modernization of Rio Tinto, they started now, right? But they were studying and learning how an industry should grow up and spawn in a small community. I think this company is very conscious from all aspects. There was a 7-minute orientation, right? So 7-minute orientation, I saw the different aspects and I said, this company is really very truthful, very conscientious to the community, right? Every time, we just met your leadership last Monday, I think Monday or Tuesday. So they keep us updated on what's happening from how many of you are in camp, right? How many will be coming, right? So I know some shifts, 3 months, maybe 3 months, 1 month, 2 weeks off, so they tell us that. They respond to our concerns, like issues with locals, right? So, like when you go out, to be consensus with the community, right? And then you don't affect the healthcare system. So this company really is a good one. You are lucky, but then you have to shine, to show them empower. I'm empowering actually here, right? I see lots of seniors in here. They have good skills, better than me, maybe in their own field, and in their own profession. And I am proud of that. And I told the liberal premier before, who went to the Philippines, when this was still in the concept, looking for workers, go to the Philippines. So she went there to talk to Tesla. Are you familiar with Tesla? So Tesla, yeah, that was the liberal government then, in 2010. Christy Clark, if you have heard about her, this was started by her. We were scared when the NDP came in the last, I think, 8 years. But Premier Horgan continued to do that, right? And then here comes now. I share this company gives lots of taxation to Kina. Lots of lives have been improved. Lots of infrastructure have been undertaken. The bridge, it was not because of this, and because of our commitment to support, and with the deal, right, for taxation, this bridge will be in existence. In the last 8 years, that bridge cost 25 million. Now that's 55 million. We are on budget. It was LNG Canada who pushed the provincial and the federal government and deal with us through taxation. Not only that, not only Kinamat receives the benefit of from the taxation, it's also from the neighboring communities. We have what we call the RBA. So that's RBA is the sharing of what the province gets from the tax to Terence, to the Hazelton, to smaller communities. Right? We have a deal with this company for the 10 years, fixed taxation, and then after that, we will see how. 75% of the tax in town comes from industry. This one, and Rio Tinto. That's why the provincial, the residential tax here is very low compared to theirs. And the services is very good, with quality. It's no period, is right. So thankful to the companies, and thank you for coming also and helping really and making me proud. Okay. And then knowing that you are here too, LNG Canada is very strict really with going out, right? So my wife and I used to entertain, we used to like seamen. Seafarers, seafarers that comes because of the Rio Tinto products, right? That's once every 6 weeks before. But how we wish, I could invite you, there's a process, but really the Filipinos in Kinamat will have a Christmas party. Everyone is welcome actually on December 4th. That will be on Sunday. It's Sunday. So anyone who could go out, let me know if you can. No, I'm sorry. I don't have the power anyway. So yeah, so you're all invited. So I'll go back again. Thanks for sharing your talent. Thanks for showing Canada that even though we are a third world, we can share, we have that skills. Not only the technical and the engineering side, in a medical side, or in other field, right? But I need you to go out and show really and speak. Don't shut yourself out, right? It does not mean you are not respectful, right? And this is the thing that I would like to empower you guys, right? Say it, don't keep it, otherwise you'll be depressed, right? Meron tayong kasabihan pero hindi mo masabi yan eh. Kaya iutot lang natin yan. Sorry for the language, but you have to say how you feel. Canada is very, resilient to those, alright? And I learned from that. You just have to cry in front of it, you're forgiven. Sorry. Yeah, it's true. It's true. From the experience I have, never been kicked out from the job. Because if you know you're right, you will stand for it, and they will see that. It's only about pride that you hit, because that's your boss, right? So, like me now, even though I'm the boss in the war, And how I've been elected is I tell jokingly to people, if you don't elect me, if you don't vote for me, you have two choices. Either you go back door, you go front door, or you get a small leader, or bigger leader. Or you get the Michael Jackson's juice, and you don't wake up, you see, same thing around. So yeah, so 11 years, I've done that. So this is my fourth term, another 4 years. At the end of this term, it will be 15 years. Right? So it's hard because you work in the morning, then you meet each part-time, right? But even though it's part-time, it takes away lots of time for family. And the more you are in politics, the more you create enemies. So the longer you stay, right? Ang puhunan ko lang is yung salita. It's congruent to what I think, what I have in mind, what's in my heart, and it's congruent to what I do. Yan ang puhunan ko sa politics. So what I do is congruent to how I feel and how I say it. And so my advocacy is actually for patients. Right now is staffing. I'm trying to get the provincial government fast-tracking internationally educated nurses. We need workers, not only in the trades, but also in the medical field. We need doctors. There are about 80 doctors in DC, only 10 can practice. There are about 1,800 of nurses I only know, 1,800 nurses in Vancouver. Professional nurses, only 42%, that's about 1,200, trying to get registered. And I am pushing for provincial government, health authority, and the union, right, to really sit down at the college to fast track, get them into the force, like how I was introduced into the force. I don't need to be checked whether I can deliver, give medication, or integrate me, same as you guys. So that's what the provincial government is actually. And it's totally different in Canada too, maybe from the experience of the people who were ahead of us. In Canada, the reality is, I'm not saying, I'm not criticizing, it's like this. It's like a palm. So the palm is the issue. This one is the regulatory board, this one is government, this one is immigration, right? The other one is, another aspect is the regulatory board, and they don't talk. They don't sit down. How we wish we could be like that. And that's why issues are going on. I tell you a very good example. I just came from work, right? So I need to transfer a patient, but there's no ambulance. So that patient cannot be transferred to the community, into his community, and blocks a bed. I cannot operate because I have no bed after surgery. It's the same as you guys, fly in, fly out, right? You need somebody to replace. But what I am happy now is our kids in town come and work. Before, once they go out in college, they never come back. Now we are seeing kids coming back and work here. We are seeing now our seniors staying in town. We are seeing now people like you coming in town. So the more that the population is, right, the more businesses will be around, right? So anyway, thank you really for the skills that you bring to Kina. Who is the representative of the family? James David. Who is the head? Who's Irene? Who is? Jude. Right. You are with J. So can you extend my gratitude for organizing this? Because in the next meeting, I took some pictures, I'm gonna show this off. And I'm gonna say to them, thank you, right? And thanks for allowing this to happen. And thank you for making you affordable. Are you affordable? Are you being welcome? Yes or no?
Yes. Come on, wake up, people.
Yes! So, yeah, I'll be sharing this, and I love to share, right? Because only then will they know that it's working, and they are responding too, right? So once again, thank you for having us. Welcome to Kirima, if you have anything that you need, or just give me a call, right? You can find me on Facebook, you can find me in the district, right? You can call me, or what's my number, just text me. Let me know what's happening. No, that's okay. We can only, but if you need to be operated, that's okay. I can spare a bed for you, right? So, yeah. Let me know if there are issues.
So then we'll take you up on that.
Yes, please, please. I don't mind, and that's what we need. Because sometimes we need somebody. And it's like sometimes, it's like politics. You need to know somebody. That a process needs to follow. But if you don't know somebody, then you can lead to that process.
Well, in advance, we have to get it done.
No, thank you. All right.
Okay, thank you so much, Councillor Edwin. It was really an inspirational message. And yes, as Filipinos, when we come here to Canada, we should never